Hey everyone, this is Sokka, and today I'm going over a build that I haven't really discussed in quite a while. And this was the build that I used to farm prior to me not really playing much anymore. The build here, as you can see, contains Wings of Ishmir, Warpath, Dust Shroud, Sovereign Shout, Juggernaut, and of course Bleeding Edge. Pretty much tried and true. The only reason I use the Dust Shroud is for mobility. You move a little faster, and for critting. It does help with a little bit of crit, but the true nature of it is that when I use Sovereign Shout, and I'll just show it this way, you can see my stamina here, I have 4. So let's get rid of my stamina real quick. If I use my Dust Shroud, it'll give me 2 back, and if I use my Sovereign Shout, it'll give me the other 2 back. And it's pretty much for mobility. When it really comes down to it, that's what all this stuff is. Wings of Ishmir buffs me up. Warpath is just so that I can move through things through the level quickly. Dusk Shroud allows me to navigate through enemies, to move through them, become invisible so I don't get targeted, and also to replenish my jumping capability. And then obviously the Shout is for buffs, but also to replenish. When it comes down to it, all of these work in conjunction to make my character move better and quicker through the level, and to give me a bit more buffs so that when I do cast my Bleeding Edge, I hurt them very big. But we're going to go over my Gates of Fate. Now, this is pretty much the build that I would stay with, and I haven't really changed anything. I've looked at the update, and to be honest, this is still very much tried and true. This works very well. However, I'm using a shield. So if you're not using a shield, there's a lot of things you really don't need, like the block efficiency and coming up here for more block and whatnot. So those are things you're going to have to mitigate on your own, but at least I can show you how I built mine out. So we'll have the wild card here. We have Clandestine Execution there, and then we have Omnipotest there. So once you get your wheel set up, you just build out. And the way that I built it was I started through here, worked through here, came up, came all the way over here, grabbed that, grabbed all this. This is the last. To be honest, you really don't need this. This is just for extra damage, so you can negate that right now if you're not level 86. Then I would come through here, come down here, grab this, grab that, up through here to get the damage reduction along with the extra damage, because stasis is very important. I've always built around stasis because you just do a lot more damage. Then you'd grab this note for extra damage, this one to help replenish your rage, come down here for extra damage, come through here, this is more extra damage, and then this is just so you can have more rage. On my previous build, which was a delete build, you needed the Macfestin. It's a unique item that helped out by giving right here. It would give residual energy. So if you, let's say, negated this path over here and you went and came up through here, you might have to negate 1 or 2 nodes here to make the full connection. What you do get is you get a 30% damage from the last spell cast. Now, in order for this to actually work, you need to have a spell in here. And the way you would get a spell is you need something along the lines of like this. Like my little two-hander here. My two-hander has anomaly on it. So what happens is I can now I can cast anomaly, so that when I'm running around the stages, blah blah blah, I can I actually got to get some, there we go. I can cast that, and when I cast that, the next spell after, well, let's go to it, let's see what it says. Attacks gain a 30% damage from the spell cast. So to show this in a better light, let's go to details here and see my average damage, right? So the minute I cast Anomaly, I get a 30% boost, supposedly, but my damage goes up. That's the benefit of that. And if you have, right now, I don't have this attached, so I'm not getting the 30% damage increase. The reason why I did get a little bit of an increase is because I have the residual energy spell on my jewelry, on my rings. It's on this ring here, and you know what? I think I have it on another ring. So when you're building that build out, it's beneficial to have that benefit of residual energy on your rings because it increases your damage. So when you think about it, you would have a weapon. You don't even need a weapon, to be honest. You can still cast Anomaly as long as you have... Where are you? Sorry. I'm not used to this game anymore. Alright. To make this work, I need a staff or a catalyst. Alright. I don't have the MacFestin anymore because I gave it away, but I'm going to just put a catalyst in there, put you over there, and we'll take my... yeah. So I can still cast Anomaly. As you can see, my defense is crappy, but... alright, so let's go here now. Where are you? Where are you? Alright, so yeah, let's just throw that one on to show. Alright, so my damage with the one-hander and the catalyst is at 22. Alright, so I'm going to buff up a little bit. It jumps up to 25. Now if I have this ring on here, it's going to lower obviously because this thing did a lot. This doesn't really do much, but alright, so I'm sitting at 20. When I buff it, it puts me back up to 25. Almost the same. If you go that route, it's going to be worth it trying to get your jewelry to match the residual energy. And I believe when you have the MacFestin and you have everything set up, what's going to end up happening is eventually you'll have close to 100% extra damage. So you can do a lot with that build, and that's why you delete mobs so quickly. And it all comes down to this. It doesn't really matter how you build out. You just need to build into here. You need to get that residual energy for the extra beneficial damage. Then wherever you go from there, that's your choice. The way that I would personally build it, if I still had the MacFestin, I would negate this because you really don't need it. You would negate this, so you wouldn't take this or that, and you'd be left with 6 nodes here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can go wherever else you wanted to. You probably wouldn't have to take this here as well. So at 86, I'd have 8 extra nodes with the same build, and you'd come 5 here, and then you'd have 3 left over. You'd probably build into maybe more HP or a little bit more damage because you are going to be squishy. But that in a nutshell covers that. That's really all I did for that old build. You just need to have a spell to make the damage really applicable, so to speak. You need it to wipe the mobs right away. Now this build that I have here does the trick because of many different factors, but the one primary factor that I really enjoy is the mobility and the blocking. So in my build, the way that I'm set, I have a nice amount of HP. I got 189. I mean, I could go more, but I pretty much, the reason I throw everything into toughness is because of the stasis. Toughness, I found, has a very good correlation to aether damage, to the stasis. So what ends up happening is whenever you inflict the stasis, with a high amount of toughness, you're going to inflict just more damage. It's just what it comes down to. The most beneficial that I found is it's not throwing it into ferocity, it's not throwing it into agility or wisdom, pretty much everything into toughness. You get a crap ton of health, and you get a good amount of aether damage that hits very, very hard. These other factors are just because I have them on my rings, on my jewelry, and that's why I'm able to do all those other ailments. And this is not technically an ailment build. It has ailments involved, but I don't go the full route of ailments because you never truly hit all of them, and yeah, I don't want to be reliant or dependent upon them. So now I'm just going to show you the build, how it is, before I do that, so you can actually see. This is how I build out my Wings of Ishmir, right here. I'm not going to go into depth. You can check that out yourself. Here's my Warpath. And here's my Dusk Shroud. Now, the reason why I'm able to use Dusk Shroud with a shield is because it is scheiße. It's on my shield. Allows the bearer to cast a shroud. So, in case you're wondering, oh, I'm using a shield, can't do it. You need to have it on your shield. For Sovereign Shout, this is how I have this build set up. For Juggernaut, that's how I have it. And then for the Bleeding Edge, this is how I have it as well. And just so you know, for my previous build, pretty much the same setup when it comes to Wings of Ishmir, Warpath, Sovereign Shout, Juggernaut, and Bleeding Edge. I didn't change anything, so it literally is the same stuff. The only difference is you're going to be using Anomaly with the other build, and this is how I have my Anomaly set up, and I have not changed it. So, tried and true. There we go. Alright, let's check out this build that I have here, and you can see the damage it does. I don't care about modifiers because they really mean nothing to me. And let's go in. Oh, let's do this. Damn, what's up? Is this guy coming out with it? Is he just talking shit to me? Whatever. I don't show my damage because too many things would be procking off on my screen, and it's just, it really is annoying. So that's the only reason I don't have the damage showing. But here, if just maybe to, someone's probably going to ask about it, so I might as well. Where are you? It would be under controls. No, audio, gameplay. Yeah, we'll just show the critical damage. Except turn. All right. There you go. So with go away. Don't care about chest. Don't care anything. Come on. Oh, okay. Here we go. This guy should be popping up. No, what's up? Oh, there you are. And there you go. Goodbye. Let's just do the nice little Juggernaut. Bam. Ugh, my rage is so low. What the hell? I don't manage it anymore. That's the beauty about this build. You truly just don't have to care. You just run through the level and you complete what you need. Yeah, let's see what's in the chest. Anything? No. Alright, there you go. Get you. Yep. Hit. Nope. Not gonna grab me. Come on, wanna grab me again? Come on, you know you do. There you go. Alright, go up. And of course, we're at the end when it's not even. Ugh, I hate that. Am I missing something? Did one of them pop up again? Or was that just a stupid thing trying to catch up to me? Probably. Nope, nothing. This is so lame. Henceforth, this is one of the main reasons why I stopped playing. I just got tired of doing this. I could only farm this for so much. I mean, I'm going to come back to the game. I just need them to do more content. Things need to just be updated better, and they really need to change the experience gain, because it is effing weak. It is so horrible. I mean, I could play 10 hours straight, and I'd probably get like to here. And that is just, It's daunting. You know, and I'm a gamer. I enjoy, you know, doing marathons for like 14 hours, but after a while, shit just gets nerve-wrackingly stupid. All right, let's go get it. Boom, 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 boom. You know, all right, kill this thing. What is it? Oh, it's the easiest. There you go. Should drop you in like a second. Yeah, and also with Dust Shroud, if you actually time it right, I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna get all my rage up. Drop the shield. Ugh, come on. Alright, get him, stun him, yep. There we go. Nice little crits. What you do is you cast Dust Shroud real quick, and then you do Juggernaut, and if you're lucky, you'll crit hit really, really hard. But he does kind of have like a little shield on him still, so he's actually able to last a little long. But there you go. Yay, what did I get? That thing I think took way too long. Was it 5 minutes? Yeah. Should have been over 2 minutes ago. Alright. Oh, look at that. Tear of Ethel. It's actually, Tear of Ethel is not too bad. It's kind of shitty, to be honest. You really need to be in a magic kind of spec build to use it. This isn't too bad at all. Look at that. 140 max will and rage. 40% rage generation with a 20. Wow. They've definitely increased some of the stats on some of the gear. I can honestly say that. Let's look at the details here. My highest crit, yeah, whatever. Damage dealt, nothing. Let me see, do I get anything? No, as always, they deliver crap items at the end. I mean, this is the funny thing. I'm doing this on the hardest setting, and I get, what do I get? I get effing shite. Shite. I mean, I'm supposed to get some good gear here. Man, I don't even look at this. I don't want any of this. Go away. I bet you this is actually pretty nice. Hey, screw it. Don't care. Go away, go away, go away, go away. Yeah, that's the only good thing that came out of that. Yeah, so there you go. In a nutshell, I like this build because it works really well. You can last for freaking ever. I see that they've kind of reduced the effectiveness of block and efficiency, because before I really wouldn't even, my health wouldn't even go down, but now I can see it moving a little bit. Still OP, just not as OP. Things you have to kind of take into consideration. I don't in this build, but if you didn't have a shield, you'd probably want to go more health regen or health rate regen. Those are important, because if you can actually if you can out regen the damage being done to you, then you just won't die, period. But yeah, I hope that answers a few questions if anyone was wondering like what kind of build or how to sustain and do certain things, especially with my old build. But going forward, I'm probably gonna jump on this game a little bit more, and I'm gonna do some new builds. I'm just waiting for them to release some good info so that I can do some things. I mean, I have noticed that their uniques have gotten a little better. Like, I'm looking at this one, and it kind of makes me want to do a frost build, because the damage gets increased, and then there's the chance to deal frost damage, freeze, and it just makes me want to go into a crit build where I could probably get 100% crit and, you know, add a crap ton of frost damage by, you know, getting frost on my jewelry and stuff like that. That will come at another time. Aside from that, yeah, listen, I hope this video was informative. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just drop a comment. I'll try and jump on and do some things, but like I said, you know, real life is daunting, and all work and no play makes Sokka a dull boy. Aside from that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, man. As always, be safe. Tschüss.